now that we've heard the first session of the confirmation of charges against former President Duterte. Let's get the latest from the Netherlands. We have One News anchor Angela Lagunzad Castro reporting to us live from The Hague. Okay, Angela, so how's the atmosphere there like so far?
Hi, Pauline, and you're right. I'm still here at the ICC Criminal Court in The Hague, Netherlands, wherein the confirmation of charges of former President Rodrigo Duterte is taking place. No, as we speak, it's already the first day, February 23, and of course dito in-expect natin nga ang opening statement no ng both parties, including actually tatlong partido yan, ano. Una yung prosecution, pangalawa yung defense, pangatlo yung counsel for the victims, no? Yan, nag-present sila ng kanilang opening statement. Pero yung dalawa pa lang actually, no, ang nakakapag-present bago ito naputo, no? Dahil itong trial na to will run from 10 to 4 or 10 to 3 in the afternoon with 30-minute break every hour. Actually, yung bakit ganun yung naging schedule because the pre-trial chamber considered, of course, the situation or the age of former President Rodrigo Duterte, kaya may mga breaks. Pero unfortunately, I'm so sorry dahil mahangin dito, unfortunately, hindi nga umattend ito si Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. And in fact, pumayag naman ng pre-trial chamber. So today, ganun nga ang nangyari, house rules muna, and then nagkaroon ng reading of charges. And what you said earlier, Pauline, yun talaga yung mga sinabi dito din sa sa korte, no, sa ICC pre-trial chamber. So ang kanina lang kausap ko si Attorney Cristina Conti sa kabilang programa, dahil nga break ngayon kaya nagkaroon siya ng pagkakataon na makausap ako, ay yun nga positive so far yung kanyang reaction regarding the opening statement ng prosecution at saka ng of course ng counsel for the victims, at nandun din no sa loob Pulino ng gallery ang Filipino Legal Counsel ni former President na pinangungunahan ni Attorney Sal Panelo, kasama si Attorney Medaldea, former Executive Secretary Medaldea, former Department of Labor and Employment Secretary Silvestre Bello III, and among others. So far, yun pa lang yung mga nagaganap dito, no. Very yung naging statement ni Attorney Butuyan, ano, sinabi nga according to Attorney Conti, very political, no. Inihayag niya doon yung disappointment ng victims, ano, na hindi makarating dito si Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte o marap before the pre-trial chamber para sa kanyang sariling confirmation of charges. And he also reiterated how powerful the Dutertes are back there at home in the Philippines, no, knowing that his daughter is a vice president of the Philippines, and recently nga nag-announce ang kanyang intention to run for the presidential elections. Ang kanyang anak na si mga anak niyang lalaki na congressman at mayor din sa Davao, at sinabi rin niya na may mga alyansa, no, o mga clones ito si Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa mukha ng mga congressman, mayor at saka mga senador. So far yung pa lang ang nangyayari dito sa first day ng confirmation of charges. And of course, we all know na there are 3 possible outcomes sa mangyayari after na magkaroon nga na o matapos itong confirmation of charges. One would be the charges will be confirmed and we will proceed to the full trial. Second, hindi magko-confirm ng mga charges kaya walang magiging trial for now. Or the third possible option would be the pre-trial judges would give back the evidence to the prosecution para ito ay pagtibayan. But ang resulta nito ay hindi natin malalaman agad-agad. It will take them 60 days or within 60 days for them to release any ruling on this matter. So far, Pauline, yun pa lang nangyayari dito.
Okay, so Angela, napansin ko rin dun sa opening statement ng prosecution, hindi masyadong detalyado pa yung evidence na iprinesenta nila. They mentioned the pronouncements of the president, the public pronouncements, but when it came to the statements of the witnesses, yung mga insiders, hindi pa pinapangalanan. So tama ba na at this stage, hindi pa ganun kataas yung threshold sa pagtukoy ng evidence?
Well, Pauline, if you're asking for the names of the of the victims and the witnesses. Yan ay unang-unang sinabi dito sa pre-trial chamber house rules na hindi isasabihin yung mga pangalan nila, hindi i-disclose. Kung kailangan na i-disclose ang kanilang mga pangalan, ang kanilang identity, they will have to talk about it first in a private session. Then they will decide kung ito nga ay kailangan ilabas. But so far, yan ang talagang sinabi dito, House Rule, na wala tayong makikita or malalaman na pangalan at this point ng mga witnesses or victims. But doon sa gallery naman, kanina Pauline, kasama ko doon sa gallery na yun habang nag-o-observe kami sa nangyayari sa loob ng korte, ay yung dalawa sa kamag-anak o ilang pamilya ng miyembro ng pamilya ng EJK victims. Sila ay nanonood. Hindi sila kasama sa presentasyon pero sila ay nanonood. Sila yung mga kasama dito kahapon ng Duterte Panagutin Network. Pauline.
Okay, so Angela, alam naman natin ang trabaho talaga ng prosecution is to prove that there are substantial grounds, that there are substantial evidence para ma-confirm itong charges ng dating Pangulo. But on the part ng defense, ang trabaho naman nila ay to prove that these grounds don't exist. May nakausap ka ba, Angela, doon sa panig ng dating Pangulo? How confident are they na maibabasura nila itong mga charges na kinakaharap ni former President Duterte?
You know, Pauline, sabi nga nila ng prosecution dito or yung mga victims, this confirmation of charges is a step forward to accountability. But for the prosecution, for the defense rather, this is actually an opportunity for them to defend former President Rodrigo Duterte at to make sure na walang kinalaman o walang basihan yung mga alegasyon sa kanya. So far, hindi pa natin nakakausap ang legal counsel ni former President Rodrigo Duterte na si Attorney Kaufman, but actually this is the first time officially that we will see the man, Attorney Kaufman, in action defending his client, former President Rodrigo Duterte. And as for his Filipino legal counsel, I was able to talk to Attorney Salpanelo kanina bago siya pumasok sa loob. Actually, nakita ko siya sa entrance, sinila ko lang siya. Sabi ko, sandali lang, sabi niya, nilalamig na daw siya. Pero yun nga, sabi ko, ano yung magiging papel niya dito? He only said that he will only be observing dito sa magiging confirmation of charges. Of course, pinaglalaban pa rin niya yung jurisdiction ng ICC sa kaso na ito ni former President Rodrigo Duterte. Sinasabi niya, our courts there back home is gumagana naman at walang nagiging problema. So hindi niya nakikita yung dahilan kung bakit dito pa nililitis ang dating Pangulo. Hindi pa niya nakausap kahit sino man sa mga Duterte family. Even the lead counsel of former president, wala din siya nakausap. Papasok dito, kasama niya of course yung the rest of the member of the Filipino Legal Council, sila Sylvester Bello III, E.S. Medaldea, and so on. So yun lang yung mga alam natin ngayon. Mamaya sa pag-resume, actually nag-resume na yan, 11:30 after ng break, ay pag natapos yung sa prosecution, opening statement naman ito ng legal. Pauline.
Okay, Angela, aside from the supporters...
Opening statement rather, ng defense.
Right.
Go ahead.
So aside from the supporters of President Duterte, former President Duterte, pati na rin yung mga kaanak ng mga biktima, may iba pa bang international observers dyan sa ICC because of how pivotal this case is?
Well, wala akong nakitang kakilala ko, pero meron akong nakita observer from the UK Embassy of the Philippines na nagpunta dito, and other media outlets from different organizations from around the world. But for yung personality na tinatanong mong, wala akong nakita so far. But yun nga, ang mga nakita natin dito sa hanay ng mga biktima ay si Attorney Nery Colmenares, na nakausap ko rin siya bago siya pumasok dito sa public entrance ng ICC para makapag-observe nga ng confirmation of charges. And he said, he looks very exhausted, but he said he's actually relieved na magsisimula na finally ang confirmation of charges after 5-month delay. At sabi niya, natutuwa siya dahil isa siya noong 2018 kasama ng mga victims na nag-file dito ng kaso against the former president. Pauline.
All right, well, we're going to let you get back to the hearing inside the ICC for now. Thank you very much for that update. That was One News anchor Angela Lagunsad Castro reporting live from The Hague, Netherlands.